Okay, so I just had a comment on one of my videos about Vern. I'm going to retire around the age 50. Looking for some advice, or maybe you could comment on what people might do as they come here to retire, how to go about some things, and also what he asked, like what I might have done differently. So it's an interesting topic. I've thought about doing a video on this a number of times. I just never did. Let me do it right now since I'm in the mood. So to come over now, let's ignore COVID for the time being. Let's just say COVID doesn't exist now. Everybody's dealing with it. You're dealing with it at home or here. Doesn't really matter. It's basically the same thing, right? So to come here to retire, to come here to live and work online, or to work as a teacher or whatever you want to do, I really suggest that you figure out where you want to go. Thailand is a huge place, really. And it's not that it's that huge geographically, it's huge in that every area is different. The north has fewer Muslims, north of Bangkok, northeast of Bangkok, fewer Muslims. Thais are not all that accepting of Muslims in the northeast. In the south, deep south, there's lots of Muslims. So it's not just Muslims, it's not just, their beliefs, and you have to listen to the speaker go off every couple hours and they do some prayer, but it's the food available. It's when you have many, you have a huge Muslim contingent and they have all their restaurants, that means there's not as many and not as much variety of Thai food restaurants, if you like Thai food. See, I don't like the Muslim food that much. The curries, to me, I've Darren B3 on YouTube, and I have had a number of conversations just about, I think the curries just sit there all day. They sit there for a week. They just keep reheating them. What are they going to do, throw them out? They're not going to. They can't afford to. They're just going to reheat, re-add ingredients, keep it going. There's probably ingredients in some of these curries that have been in there for months, right? That's just my idea. Who knows? Anyway, I don't like them. I don't like it so much. I very, very rarely eat it. If my wife makes it, I'll eat it. I love the curry. I just don't want to eat something that's been sitting there for weeks. I refuse to. So that's one thing to consider. Just one. Okay, that's one thing to consider. Temperature is one thing to consider. Here in the south, Krabi, the air is more humid, more wet. In the north, it's much more dry. I think you're getting air from China a lot, and China is mostly dry in the west of China. If I'm correct, I think I am. I think I remember seeing just rock like Mongolia, and it just seems like a big rock. It's just dry like desert. So here in the south, some people sweat more, but also it's quite a bit hot. I mean, it's very hot north of Bangkok, where we were, just a couple provinces north of Bangkok. Super hot. Last spring, like last March, April, May, woo-wee, it was hot. And it's also where we lived. I mean, it wasn't ideal. Anyway, so the south has wetter air. The south has much better air. Unless we happen to have Indonesia burning their crops and the air shifts and then it comes up to us. Krabi might be blanketed in that, as well, and it hits Phuket sometimes as well. It's just for a few days, a week and a half at the very most, I think I remember at one time. And so I've been here for 13 years or more, and I only remember one time it got really bad. So the air quality here is hundreds of times better, hundreds of percent better, not hundreds of times, than the north. The north, you often have, well, Bangkok air sucks, absolutely sucks, because you have Bangkok pollution from the traffic, and then you have all the surrounding provinces, which are mostly rice growers, burning the crops often to get rid of all the old stuff so they can replant and plant new stuff. So many of them are planting a couple times a year, so they're burning in between. So it's just, I mean, the air is literally horrible for much of the year. Look on the air quality index, the maps, you can see it's like some parts of rural northern and northeastern Thailand has air quality as bad as like Beijing or Shanghai. I mean, it's just horrible. So you want to consider that. Chiang Mai has bad air, super bad. Anything right around Chiang Mai because of the traffic and the burning. And then just in general, the north and northeast, everybody's burning the rice fields. So that's something to consider. Something to consider are the people. In the northeast, I think the people are the absolute best. They're the best because they look at you as a novelty, because you're a foreigner. They want to say hi to you. They want to be nice to you. They want to interact with you to show you that they know 5 words of English, and that's all they know. But it's not like, it's very nice. It's a nice introduction to Thailand. But you wouldn't move to the northeast really unless you want a total change of life, because there's very little as far as Western influence or Western resources like restaurants. You may find one Western restaurant in a town in the northeast, maybe, or you might have to drive 100 kilometers to find one. You know, that's not ideal for a lot of people. I mean, we want to move to Thailand and we want to eat the food, some of the food at least, you know, that we've been used to for our whole lives. And some people don't want to eat Thai food every day. Some places in northeastern Thailand, that's all you have. That's what you're going to eat. So think about that. In the bigger cities, there's I'll say always, even in Khon Kaen, Chiang Mai for sure, even Chiang Rai, bigger cities, as big as, say, Suratani or bigger. You're going to find Western restaurants. You're going to find Western people. You're going to find people teaching and stuff like that. You'll find a variety of ages. You might find a group to hang out with. So you can keep that in mind. Smaller cities, unless you're married and your wife is from there, I wouldn't suggest it. Just live on the outskirts of a bigger city if you don't want to live in a big city. What else would you consider? Making money. So if you want to teach and make money, you can do that mainly in bigger cities. Smaller cities, you may find a job, but if you want to find a job quickly, you want to have a variety of jobs to choose from because you get tired of dealing with this Thai staff at your school that you did sign up with, a bigger city is better. You can also hit different age groups. You might be able to hit college kids and teach them, or adults. In Bangkok, you can teach any age group, of course. So that might be something to think about. In the north and in the south, teachers are needed. So there's really, I mean, you can teach, you can become a dive pro, do diving in the ocean. This is what people do. If you know Thai language, you can work in a hotel. Excuse me. You can work in a hotel as a marketing manager or guest relations or something. I mean, just whatever your background is in hotels, if you can add to it the Thai language that you speak, Moderately well, at least. You can work at a hotel, and there's lots of hotels here. So those are really the main jobs I think that are available for foreigners to come over here. Now, if you're going to retire and you have your income, you have your pension or whatever, um, you're probably going to want to live in a little bigger city or just on the outskirts, and with access to restaurants, to a decent place to shop in case you need anything. You want to look at electronics or anything, like a Central World Mall. It would be good to be close to that. It would be good, or even a Robinson Center. It's like a smaller mall. They have more limited number of stores and types of stores, but it's pretty good too. Robinson Center, they have revised their Robinsons to be more like decent sized malls. Not big, but decent. And they have Tops Market there where you can get foreign food at the grocery store. Tops Market. Macro Market has some foreign food. It seems like they're dropping it a lot of times. I can't find pretzels anymore. I can't find some of the stuff I used to find, like spaghetti sauce that used to be good. Agnesi, Agnesi, from Italy. Oh, it was very good. Can barely find that at all. It's in Tops though. Still, hopefully they don't kill the contract for that. You might want to think about how far does your money go. Like if you live in Bangkok, if you're not shopping and doing everything Thais do to save money in Bangkok, and you want to go out, you want to hit the nightlife, you want to spend money on going out, you drink at your house daily or whatever, you have nightlife expenses. You can spend a hell of a lot of money in Bangkok. Bangkok, Phuket, Koh Samui, Pattaya. I mean, if you're looking for nightlife and you're going to retire, you should have at least, I'd say at least 70,000 baht a month, probably, to be happy. If you are going to retire with your wife or something from your home country and bring her here too, I feel like I'm speaking mostly to guys that watch my videos. But again, I think you would want to be in a little bigger city or close to a bigger city. That way you can have good restaurants, you can go to movies that are in English, you can shop at decent sized malls, a variety of coffee shops everywhere. You can meet maybe other couples if you want to find friends like that, you know. Just more things to do, right? Not sure what else to talk about. So the next part of his question was, Vern, would you do anything differently than what you did? So what I did was I came here and met this guy from the States, and we partied like, I was stressed as hell, I guess, from the States, and I guess I needed it, but we partied almost every night when I could. I mean, blew lots of money, had a blast for a couple months, and then it kind of fizzled out over a year. So the first year was just amazing, just incredible. I won't say the most fun I've ever had, but a lot of fun. I wouldn't change that. That's what I needed at the time. If I came over now, like in this state of mind with a family or something, and I came here, yeah, everything would be different. Somehow we found Krabi, which I thought, I taught English in the Northeast shortly after I arrived, like after that year, and met this girl, and she was just, I wasn't ready for any girlfriend. I told her, look, you're not my girlfriend. I mean, I like you a lot, and it would be awesome if we could like stay together, for a while, or live together or whatever, and just hang out together a lot, be my friend for a while. And but yeah, she became my wife. I mean, we've literally been together since then. What is that? 16 years ago. So I don't know what the point was, but but you may find somebody that you weren't really expecting. Somehow we found Krabi because I asked her. I said, "Where do you want?" We were in Ubon, Ratchathani. We were in Sisaket. We moved to Suratani for a year, and I said, "Where do you want to live? Like, let's just pick the right place to live that we're going to stay for a while." We didn't know we were going to have kids or anything. And she said, "I want to live in Krabi." I said, "Krabi?" I said, "Yeah, I think the more I thought about it, there was no other place that we should live. This was it. It's a great location. There's plenty to do. We have ocean and mountains. Schools are okay, not great. Lots of foreign restaurants, Indian food, pizza, Italian made. Shopping, not really, but Suratani's close, 2-hour drive or less. Phuket is a 2.5-hour drive, 3-hour drive. Lots of shopping there. So shopping is not a big deal. We have Macro here, we have Tesco, we have Big C, and we have those smaller superette type, small Big C, small Tesco's, close by, real close. There's enough foreigners here. There's snakes here. Pretty much everything that we need. So we stayed here for 13 years before we had to move, north of Bangkok for a year so I could teach and make money. But now we're back to Krabi. I think it's the ultimate place for us to stay. I can't think of anywhere we would rather be in Thailand. Let me clarify that. So guess we're staying here. Would I do anything different? Yeah, you know what I would do different? I would have actually thought about saving money before I came. I had money, but it wasn't like, I didn't have like a couple $100,000 in the bank like I should have, US dollars, because I certainly made enough to have done that. Just never made saving money a priority my whole life. Why? I had no good role model. My mother was living paycheck to paycheck. My dad had left. He was bringing money every month, but that was for the rent. Mom was working all the time. We always had just barely enough money. We had enough to do anything, but we went on vacation every now and then too. But I never learned about money, anything. But when I graduated, when I went to college, I had skills to make enough money that I was never concerned about money. So I never made it a priority still. I just thought, money's always going to be there. In my mind, my goal for retirement, my goal for when I hit 50 years old was that, not that I was going to have money at that point. I was going to have nothing really. And that's what I did. My goal was that I was going to have fun until 50 years old. And from then until retirement, I will work my ass off. So that's basically what I'm doing. But it's not working out how I thought it might. So I'm having to be more creative about, many changes in the world and stuff. And I let some of my skills lapse. And so I'm no longer like one of the first authors in Amazon when I was able to make good money. I'm no longer one of the first YouTubers to talk about Thailand when money was good. It was hundreds of dollars a month and sometimes way more. But But now there's so much competition for all of these things. Now everybody can do it. Now everybody is doing it. And now I have to sort of reinvent myself, or I have to really focus on my core strengths and then to make money now. So that's what I would have done differently. I would have actually saved some money and had it in the banks for problems in the future. Like, we wouldn't have to pay for health insurance now if I had at least like a couple $100,000 in the bank, right? What for? I saw people have brain injury surgery twice at a hospital and stay there for 70 days, and still the bill was like 40,000 baht or something. I can't remember, 40,000 or 70, 80,000, something like that. But nothing really. I mean, that's, when you have a couple $100,000 in the bank, that's nothing at all. You shouldn't pay health insurance. What the hell for, you know? So yeah, I would do a couple things different like that. All right, I hope that helps somebody to think about retirement in Thailand. I think there's probably no better place to retire, just as far as what I've seen. So I've seen some of Cambodia, Burma just a little bit. You wouldn't want to go there. I don't think anybody should retire in Cambodia either. Laos, no, please. Malaysia, maybe, but a lot of Muslim culture, the speakers going off all the time at night, in the morning. I mean, it's Muslim food I don't like. I told you, Malaysian food, Thailand has great food. Thailand has many things to do. Thailand has the right temperatures. Thailand has opportunities for us. Thailand has many foreign visitors. Thailand has many great places to eat, foreign and Thai. Thailand is safe, super safe. So anyway, that's all. I'll wrap it up. Best of life to you, and if you have any questions, just leave in the comments. I'll answer. All right, bye.